The word Shabbat means rest. And when you rest into the 7 days, 6 days thou shalt labor, and the 7th day you shall rest. And that's called a Sabbath. That's why you have this English term known as sabbatical. After 6 years of working, you take a break. You're entitled to take a break. You have a thing in the law called the land Sabbath, where you work the land, and Gad did this. They would work the land for 6 years, and on the 7th year they would leave the land alone. They would go to another plot of land. And so the land would rest or rejuvenate. Rejuvenate meaning back to, juvenate or juvenile, where you get the term juvenile. It means young, back to being young, to rebuild that plot of land. Now let's go to the root, which is, okay, the first word was Shadapa, which is H7711. Now we're going to H7710. This is the root, which is let me go to it. Which is Shadap. And the word means to scorch. If you ever made rice, the rice might look white, but it tastes burnt. That means to be scorched. Another way of explaining it is freezer burn. You put something in your freezer and you take it out and it doesn't taste right. Normally it's freezer burn. Now in the ancient world, when you grow corn, we're going to deal with corn, and you had a east wind, a hard east wind that came, in a low temperature, it will scorch that corn. It will destroy that corn. And you called, in that term, the old English term was called blasting. So it says to scorch, to then it says it says scorched of ears of corn. Let me read that again. 1, to scorch of ears of corn. Because if you notice, after you read the word blasting, it said mildew, and we know what mildew is. And it says shadap, to blast, to scorch, as the east wind grain. Genesis 41, 23 and 27. To burn. Now it says here in Genesis 41 verse 6, and behold, seven thin ears and blasting with the east wind sprung up after them. That's when, for lack of a better term, that's when your corn is freezer burned from the wind, the whipping of the east wind, which came cold. Let's go to Genesis 41:23. And behold, 7 ears, withered, thin, and blasted. Nobody shot the corn with a shotgun. The word blasted means to be scorched with cold, which destroys the corn. I'm going to read it again. And behold, 7 ears, withered, thin, and blasted with the east wind. The east wind doesn't have a shotgun, man. Blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. Okay, let me see what verse 27 says. It says, in the 7 thin and ill-favored kind that came up after them are 7 years. Now this goes to the dream that Joseph broke down. And this is what made Egypt great. And the 7 empty ears, meaning ears of corn, blasted. Remember, there was no shotguns back then. But these ears of corn were blasted, or blasted at, let's say blasted at, with the east wind. I'm going to say it again. The east wind does not have a shotgun. With the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. So when the brother made that statement, he made that statement because he was listening to Nate. And Nate, swears on the fact that you don't need to know the Hebrew or the Greek or etymology. Well, he's going off. He's clearly going off. Now I want to go from here to go to Proverbs. That's why one of your men left you in Atlanta. And he said because you refused to, proclaim the name of the Most High. Now it says here in Proverbs 25:8, which Nate brought this out in Queens. And he tried to apply this to us. It says, go not forth hastily to strive, to fight, meaning a word fight, argue, lest thou know not what to do in the end thereof. See, you taught these guys the scriptures, and you said that the Hebrew is not important, and you can't make a doctrine out of the Hebrew. You can't make a doctrine from the Greek. Now, if you knew and understood and taught the Hebrew and the Greek, taught etymology, taught about the roots of words, the origins of words, the Ephraimite, he looks like an Ephraimite, like, I don't know, he could be one of the other Latin tribes, but he looks like he can be an Ephraimite to me. He clearly went off. He clearly went off. But I'm not blaming him. I'm blaming you, Nate. Because you should know better. I'm going to read it again. It says, go not forth hastily to strive, lest thou know not what to do in the end thereof, when thy neighbor have put thee to shame. So I just put you to shame, Nate. I just put you to shame. Now you're going to have a certain amount of your zombies try to justify it, and you're going to probably try to turn around and justify it. But I showed you what the word meant. And with that, I'm going to say shalom. And wake up.